Okay. So now we have gotten to procedure to basically check top three marks, and based on that, we have filtered whether a candidate is eligible or not. Okay. Then we had some more criteria, and based on that, we can just filter out the students and distribute the prize. Okay. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now these there are some side effects. What parameters you need to pass, those kind of things you have to understand. So this slide is just showing that.
Excuse me,
Now,
sir.
yeah,
Sir, are we revising all 4 weeks now?
yeah.
Okay, sir. And now we are in week 2 or week 3?
So mostly these are related things. So whatever you have been taught till now, till week 4, all those things are getting covered in this only. Yes, I think on Monday. On Monday, we had a session where we used the slides from the lectures itself and basically discussed that. In today's session, we are doing the same thing, but we are using some questions, and based on that, whatever topics were discussed in the lectures, we are
Yes.
just highlighting those. Okay,
So can
and
you
in
once teach birthday paradox and binning? I couldn't understand very well.
yeah, the third problem is related to binning itself. Yeah, this one
Okay,
is related to binning itself. Okay,
okay, sir.
so let's see the third problem first. What was it? So we have to find same city pairs whose total marks differ by at most 50 using safe bill. Okay, so there are multiple ways to achieve this, but in the naive way, you can get the results, but the number of comparisons. This comparison is based on the 5 rows that we see. Like initially, I showed. Yeah, that's fine. So based on this data set, that particular calculation is done. But if you use the full data set that we have, so the numbers will change. Okay. Okay. So since we have currently 5 rows, okay, if we try to find all the pairs satisfying this particular condition, how many comparisons will we need to do? It will be 5 into 5 minus 4, sorry, 5 minus 1 by 2, right? So
Yes, sir.
there will be 10 comparisons, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, what we can do is instead of doing these many comparisons, a better approach would be we do 2 passes. Okay. In the first pass, what we do, we create bins. So currently, all the data set is over here. What we can do, we can create maybe 3 smaller data sets. This data set contains cards from Chennai. Okay, so we have Chennai related cards over here. Then this one can have Bangalore. This one can have any other city. Okay. Now to make these 3 separations, how many passes are required? How many iterations are required across the data set? Anyone? So we have a full data set and it has all the cities. Now we have to create city beans. Basically, filter out the cards based on city and create smaller data sets which are basically filtered based on city. So this one is maybe for Chennai. This one is for Bangalore. This one is for Mumbai. So in how many passes can we create these smaller data sets? One pass, right?
Yes.
You have the full data set. You just need to check three conditions. Okay. In the first condition, you will just check whether I'll just write TC for town city. So you will check whether town city is Chennai or not. If it is, what you will do? You will move this particular card to this bin, right? Then again, you will do town city is Bangalore or not. If it is, you will move the card to right. So this you can achieve in single pass only. Okay. Now, once you create these beans, so the results for beans are shown over here. This is again based on the 5 rows we had in earlier slide. So once you start creating beans for that table, you will see that there are Chennai and Madurai related students, and there are 3 students in Chennai and 2 students in Madurai. Okay. Now we can see that if we have to do the comparison or find the pairs, what we can do? We can compare these 2 candidates, right? Kavya and Arshad. Then we can compare Arshad and Rohan, and then we can compare Kavya and Rohan, right? Only 3 comparisons are needed to get this result, right? Any doubt in this one? This is card number basically 10 and 11. And the card number is same for this particular data set as well, whatever we were using in the lecture. So you can see here, the ID is same. So that's why we are seeing 17, 10 kind of things. Okay. Is this clear? For this particular thing, we just need 3 comparisons. If not, if you have any doubts, you can ask. Okay, I'm assuming there are no doubts. Now we can do the same thing for Madurai as well, right? Now Madurai has only 2 students. Now we need to compare. So just one comparison is enough. We can just compare whether Siddharth mark or you can say just absolute of Siddharth marks. I'll just write S dot marks. Okay, minus M dot marks. If it is at okay, so we can just say differ by at most 50 or not. So at most, if this is getting satisfied, we can just say that these students can make a pair. Now, how many comparisons did we do? Just one, right? We just compared Siddharth and Meera. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So if this is clear, let's move to the procedure that we will use. So first of all, as you remember, we had to create bins, right? So for that, we need another procedure. And this in these slides, I haven't included that, but that is very simple. You just need to check the city, and based on that, you can create the bins, right? So suppose you have a procedure which you can use to create bins, and the name is bin by city. Okay, so we are using that procedure and based on that, we are getting some bins. Now, in each bin, in the previous slide, first we count the number of comparisons or did the comparisons among the students in Chennai, right? Then we did for Madurai students. So Chennai is one bin and Madurai is one bin. We are doing the same thing. Okay. So, next slide. So over here, first we got the bins. Now in each bin, okay, we are just for each bin, we have to do the comparisons. So we pick a bin and maybe that bin is bin B. Then we are checking whether there are pairs in bin B or not. If there are, we are picking that pair and then we are checking whether the pairs are valid or not. Okay. So the condition for pairing was their marks, the difference of their marks should be at most 50. Okay, this was the condition. So valid pair is just checking that condition. And if this particular condition is getting satisfied, then we are appending the IDs of those two students to pairs that we have defined over here. Otherwise, we will just skip those pairs. Okay. So is the procedure clear? What we are trying to achieve or what we are trying to do in each line?
Yes, sir.
Okay. If that part is clear, then we can represent the same procedure using flowchart as well. So there is the start, then we have created the bins, initialized our pairs list. Then we are checking whether there are more bins or not. If there are, we are picking one bin, doing the same thing, checking the pairs, and if the pairs are valid, we'll append. Otherwise, we won't append. We'll just move to next bin. Okay. Now, over here, we are moving to the next bin. Once we are done with all the bins, then we won't have any more bins and just we can return pairs. And that particular list will contain all the pairs of students who are from a particular city and their scores differences at most 50. Okay. So that was the condition. So pairs will contain all the pairs. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so these are just some hints that you can use during the exam. And yeah, that's it. Now, if you have any doubt, you can ask. Anyone? Any doubts? If there are no doubts, I'll close the session. And yeah,
Can you show the hints again, just before you have shown?
yeah, sure. This one?
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
This
Thank
will be
you.
more useful when you have to write the pseudocode yourself, right? Currently, you don't have to write the pseudocode, but you have to check the pseudocode, what is happening in the pseudocode. So these won't help that much, but when you start writing pseudocode yourself, then these things you have to keep in.
Okay, sir.
Any other doubt? If not, I'll close the session, and in the next sessions, I think there is a session on Friday and then on Saturday. We'll discuss some questions and maybe some theory as well.
Sir,
Yeah.
can you explain Boolean strings about them?
Boolean data types, you mean?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay.
Character. Okay.
So we have some data types, like int is there, string is there, char is there, and then null is there. So int is basically any integer, okay? -1 and so on. Okay.
Okay, sir.
This is the main type, but in this one we can have subtypes as well. Like you had marks, right? Marks has some categories that marks needs to be in this closed interval, right? It will be equal to or greater than 0, and it will be always less than equal to 100. Marks can't be greater than 100 or less than 0 for the data sets that we have defined currently. Okay. Now we have a string. So a string can be anything that has more than one character. Okay. So you can say maybe apple. It is a string. It has more than one character. You can say Python. Okay. Similarly, you have many strings that you can. Then you have character. Okay. Char is for character. So character, as the name suggests, it will have just one character. Okay. You can have A, you can have B, and so on. Sorry. Now we have Boolean. So let me. So in conditionals, like when you use if condition, you have some condition over here, right? You maybe check that marks is greater than 50 or not. Okay. So suppose the same question is asked to you in English. How will you respond? You have a card in your hand and someone is asking whether the marks is greater than 50 or not. What will be your answer? It will be either yes,
Yes or no?
yes, no,
Yes or
or
no.
something similar, right? True, false kind of thing, right?
Yes. Yes, sir.
So this
Yes.
is what Boolean is. So Boolean is what basically you can just give the answer in true, false. True, false is Boolean. The data type is Boolean. And the Booleans are basically mostly used in conditions. So when you write condition, the internal part should either evaluate to true or false. So there we generally use Boolean. Now sometimes you have to keep track of some flag as well, right? So for that as well, you can have some Boolean value for flag, and you will then have some procedure, some steps, and then finally you will switch the value of flag. Okay. Maybe it was initially false. So that is Boolean. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Anything else? Any other doubt? Okay. So there are no doubts. I'll just close the session. And in the meantime, before we meet on Friday or Saturday, just make sure you solve as many problems as you can so that you grasp all the concepts. And if there are any doubts, you can ask. Yeah, there is some doubt. What is your doubt, Bahulu? Can you open your mic and when we use if and while? Okay. So while is basically used for iterations. Okay. Suppose you have a list. Okay. There are some numbers or something, anything. And you have to check something for each value. Like suppose these are the values in this list. Okay. And as per the problem statement, maybe you have to check whether the numbers are divisible by 2 or not. Okay, even and odd kind of thing you have to check. So for that you need to do iteration. What does iteration mean? You have to check each element one by one, and then you have to evaluate it or do some operation on that element. So for that we use while. We will just say that 1 second. We'll just say that while there are some numbers or while the list is empty, list is not empty. Okay, so while length of list we can say is not equal to 0. Okay, so we will do something. We'll just pick the first element maybe, and we will do some operation. So for that case, we use while. Okay, when we have to do some operation on a group of items that are stored in a list or something similar. So the data sets that we had, those are kind of list. Okay, so we were using a while loop and iterating over all the rows, doing some operations on the rows and then getting the result. So for these things we use while. Is the while loop clear?
Sir.
Yeah. Yeah, any doubt in while loop?
No.
Yeah. Any doubt in while loop?
No, sir.
Okay. Uh, now we can see if condition.
Sir,
Yeah.
while loop is done till the cards are over, sir.
So we have some condition, and based on that condition, we do the iterations. For your current CT related data set, you will do the iterations until the data set is exhausted. Means you have seen all the cards in the data set. But in some cases, suppose you have a list, okay, then you just want to just do some operations on the first 3 elements. Okay, so for that you just need to iterate over the first 3 elements, not all the elements. Okay, so that depends on the condition.
Okay,
Is
sir.
this clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now we had if condition. So if is basically to check some condition, right? So we defined a problem where we had to check whether the numbers are even or not. So in that case, we have to evaluate each number. So if it's for conditional, we will just check whether 1 is divisible by 2 or not. Okay. So this is for first item in the list, divisible by 2 or not. Okay. Now for the second item, we can do the same thing. 2 is divisible by 2 or not. And same thing we can do for 5 and 4. Okay. And each evaluation we will do inside the iteration of while loop. Okay. So at the top level, we will have a while loop, and inside the while loop, we will have if condition to evaluate each of the elements. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Nested iterations. Nested iteration is basically at the top level, you have a while loop. And inside this while loop, you again have a while loop. Okay. So this is your nested iteration. What will be the example? So suppose you have a list, and in that list, maybe you are storing some string. And so on. Okay. So there are 2 strings in a list. Now you have to check whether the strings contain D or not. Add D, this one. You have to check whether D character is there in the string form. If there are, then you will return that string. Otherwise, you will just receive that string. So for that, what do you need to do? You need to iterate over each of the items. Okay. So in the first iteration, at the top level iteration, you will pick ABC. So in the first iteration for this one, you will pick ABC. Okay. Now you have to check a character, right? So basically, you will check whether A is equal to D or not. So that for that thing, you have to do the internal loop. You will use the internal loop. So in the first condition, it will check whether A is equal to D or not. In the second condition, it will check B is equal to D or not. In the third condition, it will do for C. And based on that, you will store the result. Is that clear? While loop, is it nested loops? Is it clear?
ಇಯರ್ಪಿಸ್ ಬ್ಲೂಟೂತ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಯಾರು ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಇಲ್ಲ.
Okay. For 3 price problem, you don't need to understand the full flow chart for that. I'll share this.
కొన్ని కొంచెం దారి మచ్చ ఇది ఇంత కంప్యూటర్ సార్.
Can you mute yourself? Someone's
Mute,
mic is on, I guess.
ஆமா 3 மணிக்கு அது இங்கோல் டைம்க்கு 5:30.
Akash, can you mute yourself? There is some background noise on your end. Okay, so for 3 price problem, you don't need to understand the full flow chart. Okay. What I will do is I'll upload this PPT to Drive and share the link with you. Okay. So that whatever flowcharts that we have discussed in this session, you can access it. And if you are able to understand those many flowcharts, and also if you are able to understand the flowcharts that we have discussed during the PS and GS, So those flowcharts, if you are able to understand, you should be fine. Okay. So let me upload the PPT. In the
Sir?
meantime, if Yeah.
Share the link in chat box.
yeah, let me upload it and then I'll share it. Okay. In the meantime, if there are any more doubts, you can ask. Okay, I have dropped the link. Can anyone check and let me know whether you are able to access it or not?
So it says that we have to request for some access.
So you don't have the IITL email ID, no? I have dropped the link again. Check that. It's the same link, so you should be able to access now.
Yes, sir. Open.
Can you retry?
Open.
Okay. Okay, so any other doubt?
Excuse me, sir, I'm audible.
Yes, yes.
Sir, I have a little bit conceptual doubt while processing the pseudocode. Can you solve it?
What's your doubt? Do you have
Sir,
a
actually,
pseudocode?
if yes, but it's in the portal actually. It's in a graded assignment.
Okay, can open that. Give me 1 minute. Let me open the portal. So what's the question number? Which we
We're in week 4 and question number 1, graded assignment. So this question number 1, sir, actually this in this pseudocode it is a nested iteration while, right?
Yeah.
Sir, I want to know that where we have to proceed after line when we go to line number 10. Do we have to proceed to line number 11 or do we have to check again go back to line number 5 and check that condition?
So let me give you an example first. So this is using words dataset, right? I'll just pick a simple example. Okay. Now the outer loop is trying to pick the element, right?
Yes.
This one or this one. So in the first
Yes.
iteration, it will pick this, and then we have another condition which is checking whether I is less than equal to letter count on. Okay. So I is less than equal to letter count is basically iterating over all the characters one by one. Okay. So first, what you will do, I is 1 in the first iteration for the internal loop. I is 1. You will check whether I is less than equal to which number? 3
Yes.
for this particular example, right?
Yes. Yes.
And current value of I is 1, right? It
Yes.
will evaluate to true.
Yes.
So you will go inside, do the operations till here. Then you will again move to this part because you haven't exited the while loop yet. Now
Okay.
you will you have incremented I, right? Over here inside the while loop itself. So I became 2. X dot later count is 3, right?
Yes.
It won't change. Now again, this condition is getting satisfied. So you will again do the operations internally. Then you will again increment I. I became 3. You will do this again true. So you will again proceed inside the while loop. You will increment I. I became 4. Now this is false, right?
Yes.
Since this is false, we won't go inside while loop now, and we will start executing the next lines.
Okay.
Got it?
Yes, sir. So that means whenever this closing bracket comes of while, we have to check for the while condition, if that satisfies or not, then we have to proceed.
Yeah. Until you're out of the while loop, you can't go ahead. Okay. Once you have to complete or like finish the while loop, complete the iteration, then you can proceed to the next line.
Sir,
Yeah.
like after completing the ninth line, we will
Yeah.
again initialize B to false, or we will just keep it true only. Like we will go to step 4 or directly to step 5 while loop only.
This was executed. Okay. And this is the while loop part. Line 5 to line 10 or 11, line 10. This part is while loop, right?
Yes.
So initially, like from line 4, you got I is equal to 1, right? And B, you got false, right?
Yes, sir.
If you go from here to here, if that had been the case, then I will again change to 1 and B will again change to false. Do you think that is happening? Not,
No,
right?
like we can't change I to 1, but for B, I'm not sure whether we will initialize it to false again or not. I will never
No.
become 1, I think, again.
If you like, if you are going to this line, only then these two things will happen. Otherwise, they won't, right? If you are saying that I won't be equal to 1 again,
Yes.
then B will be, once B changes to true, it won't
Hmm.
change to false.
Okay.
Okay. So whatever you are repeating in this part only. Okay.
Okay.
This is the repetition part. Line 6 to 9, you will repeat. And this condition, you will just evaluate whether it's true or not. Once it says that this is false, you will stop the iteration. You will stop this whole thing and you will start line number
Okay.
11.
Similarly, our code ends at line 15 when line number 2 condition is false, right?
Yes.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
And the iteration will just do these things again and again, right?
Yes, sir.
Any other doubt?
Sir.
Okay. So I'll close the session now. And if you have any doubts, you can ask in Friday and Saturday session. And in the meantime, just try to solve as many problems as you can. And if you get, or if you have any doubts, you can just ask. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.